In this episode, February Cars and Coffee in Sarasota, first look at the Mclaren Artura, and we chat about some base model muscle cars. Welcome to episode 178 of the We Are Auto Show. What's up, Derek?
Mr. Michael Rowell, this past weekend there was a car show near us.
There was.
Sarasota Cars and Coffee. And the turnout, really good.
I heard over 600 cars.
Whoa.
And what time did you end up leaving?
I was there for about an hour.
So apparently, after I left, the overflow lot was overflowing with two separate multi-million-dollar supercars.
I did.
In the overflow lot.
Yep.
Like, how crazy of a Cars and Coffee is it that the overflow lot is where you put some million-dollar supercars?
What was the new Ferrari that's out?
The SF90.
Yeah, there was an SF90 over there.
And I don't understand. I haven't seen that one. It was a yellow one.
Yes.
A yellow SF90. Where'd that come from? How does Florida or Sarasota now have like 4 SF90s? I don't understand. There was also a Ford GT, a new Ford GT out there too.
Yep.
In the overflow lot.
Yep.
What?
Crazy.
Yeah. Shall we go through a few picks and
Sure.
recap our Cars and Coffee experience?
Let's take a look at it. We don't have a ton of the supercar stuff, but we have some interesting things nonetheless.
Yes, because supercars are interesting, but we see them all the time here. We're almost numb to them.
We kind of are.
Yeah.
Thought that this was a very cool sticker. Can you read this out for the listeners?
It shows an H pattern equipped with a millennial anti-theft device. It really should be a Gen Z anti-theft device.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I love the anti-theft stickers with the little manual.
They're so great.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. And it kind of does actually work decently well nowadays.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It's pretty ridiculous. This was there.
Oh, this is the brand new McLaren Artura.
We had just talked about this.
Yeah.
This was the car that McLaren had brought out that took a while to make.
So McLaren revealed the Artura the same time Porsche revealed the 992 GT3.
I've seen a lot of those.
We've been seeing 992 GT3s for like a year now.
Yeah.
This is the first Artura we've seen because McLaren was so far backed up with building their cars and so delayed.
And now the successor to this is the one that you can buy.
No. This does not have a successor.
That's right. That's the 720S.
Yes. This is the successor to the 570, which if you look at it, it just looks like a newer 570, doesn't it?
It does.
Like literally exactly like that.
Yes.
I want your impression. First impressions of the Artura.
Not much has changed.
I'm very underwhelmed.
I am too.
Like, I am very underwhelmed by the Artura.
Everyone that saw it that was walking around with me said the same exact thing. Oh, it's a McLaren. I don't even know which one because they all kind of look the same at this point. It's a McLaren. I was like, no, that's the newest, hottest one. But
it's the hybrid V6.
That's right.
Yeah, this is the hybrid V6 that replaced the 570.
Right.
Which is also weird because they raced a GT4 spec version of this in IMSA, which is not a hybrid. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
Again, it just looks like an updated 570.
It really does.
Has a V6 hybrid in it instead.
Yeah, I don't. Was not impressed.
No. I mean, I'm glad to see it. It was neat to get up close and personal, but no.
All right. Next to it, though, was the Aston Martin, the F1 edition.
F1 edition. Yeah, in this picture, you have, turbo V8, NA V8 in the Maserati, hybrid V6, and full EV. We have every spectrum of type of combustion.
You're right. Is that a Porsche in the back? Is that a yellow Porsche back there?
No, Audi TTS.
Oh, it is a TTS. You're right. Okay. Moving along, though, we had something odd. Very odd.
Someone let Florida man have tools.
Oh, yeah. And he went full Florida man force.
What is this?
This is A monster. This is a monstrosity, is what it is.
It looks like the car I drew when I was in kindergarten, and they made it in real life.
It really does.
Like you've drawn this car where you're like, oh yeah, and then that's what it looks like.
So what is the base of this car?
So the body or the chassis?
The body.
The body is a Chevy HHR, which is kind of like a PT Cruiser sort of thing.
And the chassis is a diesel pickup truck.
It's like a Chevy 2500?
Something like that. It's got a dually in the back, big turbo diesel up front.
With a very long extended hood. With a gap.
Ridiculous.
You don't need a hood if you just have a gap.
Yeah. And the framing was kind of chaos. The front, it was like chopped up, and then they took the bodywork and couldn't actually fit it over the front, so they just patched it all around.
I'm telling you, someone let Florida Man have tools.
It's amazing and terrible all at the same time.
Yeah. It's like the best redneck ingenuity you've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
I do too.
It's so wrong that it's so right.
I love it and hate it at the same time.
100%, yeah. Like, I wonder if the headlights actually work. Like, does the wiring extend far enough to get to them?
Miles of wiring. I don't know.
It's such a monstrosity, awkward thing to look at.
It really was.
Like, it kind of played tricks with your eyes, because proportionally, it's just odd. And it doesn't know how to park very well either.
No. Well, I mean, look at it. No, it doesn't matter. You just run it over. That Harley in front of it doesn't matter. It goes away. It turns to dust.
It just disintegrates.
When
Goodbye.
the HHR runs it over.
This thing is just wild. And everyone was walking by it going, what the hell is this thing?
There were a lot more heads turned at this than there were the McLaren Artura.
For a good reason.
Yes. Moving along, though. I took this photo because I wanted your opinion.
Okay.
Which would you rather not drive?
Which would you rather not drive?
Yeah, so it's either, the Pontiac Solstice, but this is the
Saturn Sky version.
The Saturn Sky.
Same, different badge.
Right. The Saturn Sky or the, what's the car across the Corvette there?
That's a Prowler.
That's
with
a Prowler.
Lambo doors.
Oh,
those
baby.
are not factory.
Oh, baby. What would you rather not be seen in? What's worse?
To be honest, I might go to hell for this. I think I would rather not be seen in the Prowler. I think I would rather drive the Saturn Sky.
I totally agree.
Like, we just pissed off a whole subset of human, but I can't drive a Prowler.
No.
Especially with Lambo doors.
It's a Prowler.
It can't do that. You remember the Prowler was so slow and awful?
Yep.
It had like a 3 or 4 speed automatic with like 8 horsepower or something like that. And it weighed 1 million pounds, even though it looked tiny.
But I will say, the Pontiac Solstice, as I like to call it, is terribly slow as well.
Yes, they're both horribly slow.
They're awful.
But I couldn't drive a Prowler. I couldn't do it.
You could at least hide.
Yeah, you can put your hood up. But you are exposed in the Prowler.
In the Prowler, you're gonna get seen.
You are front and center.
Mm-hmm. And the motorcycle brothers will be flocking to you, asking the question. But they won't be in the Pontiac.
But they will be flocking to you on not their regular motorcycles or trikes.
Right.
On the motorcycle trikes.
Right.
That's it.
Let's keep moving on. Speaking of, there were actually a whole bunch of motorcycles there, which is cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We don't see many motorcycle rows.
No, and this was something new that I think they've implemented, which was allowing people to bring their bikes there. I think that there were a couple other bikes way out, but most of them
normally
did park
you'll
here.
see a bike or two, but not a bunch.
And there was a big group. Diversity was everywhere. There was some Harleys. There were some old European bikes. There's some
old Hondas.
Yep. I think there was a Ducati there at one point too, which was pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
It is neat to see
that Honda Goldwing.
Yeah, it was neat to see a whole bunch of old school bikes.
Yeah.
Oops. Moving along though.
Oh, hello.
We do have something new that I had yet to see in person.
And you actually saw not just a brand new Civic Type R, but a pretty famous Civic Type R.
Why is that?
Do you know whose that is?
Who?
That is Rady's Rides on YouTube.
Rady's Rides.
He's got like 950 subscribers. 950,000 subscribers.
Oh, okay.
I had a good chat with him. Mr. Rady, it was great chatting with you. I'm looking forward to the new series on your Type R. But yeah, Joe Rady was there.
Neat. That's very, very cool.
Super nice guy, too.
I thought it was... what's your take on the new Civic here?
All right, so my original take when I saw the pictures of it coming out like 6 months a year ago, right? I thought, it's really bland.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing it in the flesh, I like it a whole lot more.
Mm-hmm.
I like it a whole lot more in the flesh. In the flesh, it works for me.
I totally agree. I was a big fan of it, actually.
And I like it in white.
White looks good.
Red is the worst color for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it hides the red Type R badging.
I see what you're saying.
I feel like a Type R, you have to get it white, black, or boost blue, which is the bright blue.
Right.
That works for me.
I'm a huge fan that they have tamed down the exterior of this car.
Yeah.
Which is good because it's a Civic at the end of the day, right? The Type R was too far over the edge on the last gen.
I think you're right. I mean, I loved it because it's fun, but
right.
it was a little too. This is a Type R grown. This is a Type R that you can buy after you've reached 30 years old.
Yes.
If you were under 30, the previous Type R was perfect.
Right.
Over 30, you couldn't own it.
This was cool. I am a huge fan of this. When I saw it, I would big thumbs up. And I agree with you. When we looked at the press photos, it looked bland, but in person, it looks just aggressive enough to look good. And then not over the top.
Yep.
Which was the downfall of the previous one.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, this was neat. Speaking of not going over the top, but being a performance model, the Elantra N.
Yeah, it's the Elantra N.
I hadn't seen one yet until this. Did you happen to see this?
Yes, you have. I've seen a bunch of them.
Have we?
I've seen a bunch.
Maybe I hadn't remembered them. Anyway.
They're so not memorable.
No, they really aren't. It was underwhelming.
I am not a fan.
No, it's very underwhelming. And I believe that this is the replacement to the Veloster.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
Well, the Kona N.
Right.
The
Kona N. There was one of those as well, which was very underwhelming.
Yeah, no.
I was not a huge fan.
Yeah.
Neat to see, but kind of underwhelming.
Correct. What's next? This was maybe one of the stars of the show for me.
What is this?
This is a vintage BMW M6 with Alpina wheels. And that right there that's really good.
That is very good.
That is really good. It's enough performance to have fun with, but it's so classy and just pretty.
And very well kept.
It's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous.
Did you notice the pinstriping is actually M-colored?
Yeah.
Like M-colored pinstriping? I'm not usually a pinstripe guy, but on a classic, that just...
And the wheels work with that car well. The even... I don't know if there is tint on it, but if there is, it works as well.
It's so period correct. It's just... That is a brilliant, beautiful car. That is maybe one of my favorite cars at Cars and Coffee. I would say that is... Sure, there's the Lamborghinis, there's the Mclaren Artura, there's all of the things. But this old BMW M6, that might be my favorite car at Cars and Coffee.
I would agree. This was one of the best. Yep. Now, speaking of my favorite car at Cars and Coffee.
What the hell is this?
I present to you the Mitsubishi Delica Space Gear 2800 Intercooler Edition. Magic is what it is, my friend.
What did you just say?
Absolute magic.
It's the what?
This is the Mitsubishi Delica. The name, Delica itself, is the contraction of two English words, delivery and car.
So it's a delivery car.
Delica. Delivery car.
Okay. All right. Clever naming conventions. I can dig it.
I can dig it as well. I believe that this is the third gen Delica, which would have been around, I think, 93. It's probably around the year that this was made. Okay. They're still making this to this day, by the way.
They are still making Delicas, aren't they?
I did not know that. The one that we're looking at here, this is my car spot of the week, which is amazing. And this is a 2.8 liter, 4-cylinder.
Must
it's
be where they
diesel.
get the 2800 from.
You're probably right. It's a diesel as well. Has a sweet intercooler. You can see the hood has a little air scoop on the front, which is fantastic. It is actually functional.
Oh, it's a functional hood scoop.
It is functional.
I love it when it's actually functional. It's not just tinsel.
Nope. The intercooler is taking air from that hood scoop. You'll notice that the hood scoop is offset from the center line, which is kind of funny. And it's also offset to the passenger side in case that ever blocked your vision. No. Not for the driver. Only for the passenger.
Oh, my God.
Which there's no way that was going to block your vision.
Oh, my God.
This thing will make 140 horsepower at 4,000 RPM.
That's actually more horsepower than I thought it was going to make.
It kind of is. It will make 231 pound-feet of torque.
That's more torques than I thought it was going to make.
At 2,000 RPM. Really low in the RPM.
It's a diesel. It's a turbo diesel, right?
Right. So you're never going to go super high in the RPM. 4,000 is humming for a diesel.
That's screaming,
yeah,
baby.
That's blistering. The downfall of this vehicle, though, is the weight. The curb weight is 4,500 pounds.
It's so small. How does it weigh 4,500 pounds? What the hell?
Know.
Where is the weight in it?
I don't know.
Is it built out of pure cast iron? What did they do to it?
It must be. It's a Mitsubishi from the 90s. I'm sure it's probably terrible to drive.
How did they make it so heavy?
I don't know.
It's not a big vehicle. I mean, it's tall because it's off-roady, but how did they make it weigh so much when it's not that big?
I'm not sure. This was a Japanese import from what I can tell. It is right-hand drive, which is super cool, and it was sold as well in Europe and Jamaica. Kind of weird, but also kind of awesome. I would love and hate to have one of these, both at the same time.
Oh, my God.
It would be fun to drive once in a while, and it would be awful to drive every time.
You look forward so much to driving it that then when you drive it, you're like, oh, my God, I can't wait to not drive this again.
Yes.
It's just brilliant.
Yep. It is an awesome vehicle, the Delica. A Mitsubishi Delica.
Delivery car.
Car.
Man, what?
Why can't manufacturers have the naming conventions like that?
Lamborghini does. The Aventador. It has a vent and a door.
I do like that.
I
do like that. So, while you were out and about, did you see anything that wasn't from Cars and Coffee?
I did see two things. One thing was a Lamborghini, which normally doesn't stick out to us because we see Lamborghinis all the time, but it was a hot Lamborghini. It was the Huracan STO in, I believe it would have been Verde Ithaca. I don't know if that's the correct color, but it was close. And I will say there is just something special about seeing an STO in the wild.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's got so much more aero and it's just so much more angry and aggressive that it's got a lot more presence.
Did you hear it?
It was stopped at a gas station getting gas, so it didn't. I drove past it, and I was driving past it, and I clicked. I was like, "Wow, that's more than just like a Corolla." And I was like, "Oh shit, that's an STO." You can see the roof scoop and the big wing, and it's just always an occasion to see an STO on the road, which remember stands for Super Trofeo Omologata.
Good acronym.
Yes, but that is not my spot of the week.
What might that be?
My spot of the week goes to a different Audi. Because Lamborghini is Audi. Get it? I spotted kind of a perfect car. I spotted an Audi. It was a B6 S4 Avant. Avant denoting a wagon. But it was more special than that because it was very nicely, tastefully modified. This isn't the exact car, but it looks pretty well exactly the same. It was in Nogaro blue and had a very similar stance to this car.
Okay.
That's the name of that color. And that Anogi blue, Nogaro blue is a gorgeous blue.
Now let me ask you this: do you have to have one of these in your life?
Yeah. How did you know? How did you know?
Oh, I knew it was coming.
So this is like the entry version of the M3 that I want.
Yeah.
Because it's got a 4.2 liter and a V8 in it, just like the M3. But the B6 S4 Avant had that 4.2 liter V8, beautiful engine that sounds phenomenal. That engine sounds just incredible. It really is such a beautiful thing. Now, it didn't produce quite as much horsepower as you may want. Now, this is from about 2003, 2004-ish, so this is 20 years ago now.
Oh, boy.
344 horsepower. 344 horsepower 20 years ago actually isn't that bad.
That's a lot.
For 20 years ago, really not that bad. It did make 302 pound-feet of torque, so not bad, right? It could be worse, not bad. It weighed, let's see, how much did this thing weigh? I'm curious, because that is kind of the kicker here, because it is, well, big, right? It was 3,800 pounds, so it actually weighed less than your Delica.
Yes, it by 1,000 pounds and change. Yikes. I didn't say the Delica was a great car. I said it was a awesome car.
This is a great car.
This would be a great car. This would be a great daily. It's got plenty of room. It would be fast enough with, how many? 340 horsepower?
Yeah.
It would be plenty fast for you to have fun in this vehicle. It's all-wheel drive?
Yep.
Yep, it's an Audi. You couldn't go wrong with this.
When I saw it, I kind of geeked out a little bit. Because that is
sure.
like ultimate one-car solution.
Yes. I could see you in this way more than the BMW.
Why do you not want me to get a BMW? I swear you just don't want me to get a BMW.
You're not a BMW guy.
I have to get one just to spite you at this point.
You're not a BMW guy.
But the B6 S4 with that glorious V8 and in a wagon in Nogaro blue, it was lightly modified, so it was lowered a little bit, had a very similar stance.
You need this car.
Tingly feeling. I do need this car.
You need this car.
I need this car badly.
You don't need a BMW.
I need this car and a BMW.
Ay.
I need them all. It's like Pokemon. I got to catch them all.
All right.
I need a Raptor. I need a BMW. I need many Porsches. A couple Audis in there. Maybe a Lamborghini or two.
Okay.
Right? Well, of course.
One car solution. This solves all your problems.
For a real one-car solution, though, it's kind of hard to go wrong.
This solves all your problems.
It makes a great noise. It looks fantastic. It's a beautiful color. It's big enough to put all the things in. Mm-hmm. It's just wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
That's my spot of the week. B6 Audi S4 Avant in Nogaro blue. Bingo.
Good one. I love it. Do you have, and I wish they would have.
I do, and it is a stupid one.
I love it.
I wish Dodge would not have made a V6 version of the Challenger.
Doesn't everyone wish that?
Yes.
Why did they make a V6 Challenger? Why'd they make a V6 Camaro? Why'd Mustang make a turbocharged Mustang?
Yes, but I'm particularly singling Dodge out here. Because I think of all the base model non-V8 muscle cars, the V6 Challenger is the worst of them all.
Have you driven a V6 Camaro?
No.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, but I just think the Challenger's more bad-er.
I suspect you're probably right. I haven't driven both.
It looks bigger and more boaty.
It does.
Like, it looks like... So, I haven't driven it firsthand, but I've got some secondhand experience. I've been told by someone that did test drive one that it's been fitted with brakes from a bicycle. It weighs as much as the Titanic, and it is powered by a lawnmower.
Perfect.
That formula is wonderful. And it was made by with styrofoam and Elmer's glue.
Beautiful.
It might be the worst car created currently.
I totally agree, but I don't know that making it a V8 solves all the problems either.
Well, you're right, but it still is correct, at least.
Yes, you can patch it together with Elmer's glue and put a big motor in there. I don't know. I am actually very curious. What is the worst base model muscle car?
I'm convinced it's the V6 Challenger. I think of all the crappy base model muscle cars, the V6 Challenger always takes the cake.
What else is there? There's the Camaro, the V6 Camaro.
Yep. There's
the V6.
The V6 and the EcoBoost Mustang. The EcoBoost Mustang is actually not the base model.
Is it really?
That is a step above the base V6, yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What
then
about
there's the Charger V6, which is just a four-door version of the Challenger, essentially. Yeah.
Right. I think that's about it, right?
How many other muscle cars do you have?
Yeah, not that many. Huh. I don't know. I've only driven the Camaro, and God, it was bad. It was really bad.
I'm sure it was.
I got back in my Civic, and I was like, this is faster. Oh, God. What has happened?
So that reminds me of when I was driving a rental car. It was a 1-year-old rental Hyundai. It had like 30,000 miles on it. I got out of that car, got back into my 8-year-old Volkswagen, and thought, wow, I just feel like I advanced like 20 years in engineering.
I don't know how modern companies can make cars so bad.
Old bad cars.
I don't understand it.
I don't know either. So that's my wish they would have. I wish that Dodge would not make a V6 Challenger. Do you have an I wish they would have?
I do. So I wish that cars from the manufacturer came with ceramic coating on them. Stock.
I know that is a dealer add-on.
Stock. That's
so
not
just like as off the assembly line.
Yes. Why don't they?
Cost?
Is it cost?
I think so.
Is it super expensive?
Time and cost.
I mean,
because you got to let it cure.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You can't just like ship it on a boat and buy.
Mm-hmm. You do have to let the paint cure, the clear coat cure.
Yeah, but after that's done curing, you would also then have to let the ceramic coating cure as well, and that is probably an extra few days that they need to send that off.
Ceramic coating will make it so basically nothing sticks to the vehicle.
Pretty well.
Yeah.
Like you can dry your car with water.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is
I said that correctly.
The hydrophobic aspect.
Yeah. It's like nothing sticks to it. Just
it's always cool to see. Right. I don't know why they don't make that stock.
Or better yet, why isn't the paint itself made chemically to do that?
Right. Why isn't the clear coat just ceramic in general?
Because it put a lot of people out of business?
Would it? Maybe.
There's a lot of coating shops and wrap shops.
There's an industry for it.
Yeah.
I also think that you couldn't then apply other stuff on top of it, right?
Yeah, so we run into that with the driving schools. Sometimes if the car comes ceramic coated from the dealer, we can't really put our vinyls on it.
Right. You couldn't put your branding on the car.
We just like peel off.
You couldn't wrap the car after that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Can you take ceramic coating off?
Yeah, I think you can.
Okay.
Would be involved, but I think you can.
Yeah, I'm sure it's very involved. I'd love to know why they don't do that. I wish they did.
We need a proper detailer on the show.
We do.
If you're watching, listening, and you are a proper car detailer, let us know. Drop a comment or send us a message on social. Let us know, would you be willing to come on and talk to us about paint?
There's a lot of science that goes on. I know that.
That we don't know. No, I just know my car is dirty and now I need it to clean.
Yes. All right.
I like it, though. I like it.
Do you have anything else?
That's all I got.
All right.
It's going to wrap us up for episode 178. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please do drop a comment on the video and leave a thumbs up. If you're listening on audio, please make sure you follow us on social. Facebook is We Are Auto, Instagram is We Are Auto _, and YouTube is We Are Auto. And our website is weareauto.io, where you can go to catch some of your favorite past races. So thanks again. Catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.